Ain't nothing but a gangster party. Ain't nothing but a gangster party. Hi lovelies, and welcome back to my channel, and welcome back to this reading for the one, the only, the monster that is Suge Knight. Oh my goodness. This is another reading that is so long overdue. I cannot even tell you. I can feel the dark energy racing around as we speak. No, I have to make light of it because the energy is so dark. Now we know, if you know who Suge Knight is, you will know he has dark energy. If you don't know who Suge Knight is, Suge Knight was the CEO of Death Row Records, home to infamous amazing hip-hop artists such as Dr. Dre, Snoop Dogg, and the one and only Tupac. And Suge is known for his ruthless, cold, dark ways. He has been described as evil, and there's just some speculation around Suge. In fact, there's a few things that people speculate about him. Did he inject Eazy-E with AIDS? Did he kill Tupac or help him escape? Did he kill Biggie? We need answers. Why is he so evil? Why is he so crazy? We need the answers. And so I thought, let's bring it to the table. So if you do enjoy this reading, please do hit a lovely thumbs up. Remember to subscribe and join our lovely community, because I know some of you are watching and not subscribing. We're a lovely community over here, and I upload spiritual and psychic content each week that you don't want to be missing, so hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. Leave your thoughts on Suge down below and let's get into reading for Suge Knight. Now, as I connect to Suge Knight, I feel like he really didn't have a chance from the get-go. Spirit tell me that he had quite a rough upbringing, which I think is no surprise, but I feel like there is just an energy of feeling unloved. I feel like he always felt unloved, and so to defend himself from that and to protect himself, he created this exterior. Because I don't even know, is Suge Knight his real name? Sorry, let me just see. I need to find out, is Suge Knight his real name? No, his real name is Marion Hugh Suge Knight Jr. Okay, so his real name's not Suge Knight. So I feel like Suge Knight is like this alter ego, but that is literally who he is now. That's who he's become. But he, I feel like he really struggled as a child. I feel like his relationship with his mother, I don't know how it was, but it feels difficult to me. It feels strained. I feel like there was a man maybe in the middle between the two of them. So I feel like maybe he had a stepfather in the home or something like that who came between the two of them. His upbringing just feels quite cold. Although his mother did love him, and I feel she did try and provide for him in some kind of way, he just felt very unwanted, very unloved, very uncared for. And so he turned to the streets. I feel like Suge Knight was involved in the streets from a very young age, dabbling and dibbling in all sorts of things. Dabbling and dibbling, yeah, that's a new one. Yeah, dabbling and dibbling in all sorts of crimes on the street. You know, he's been in and out of jail. He's in jail as we speak, currently serving 28 years for manslaughter. You know, so he didn't really want to leave behind that life. You know, he was really indulging in that life, and I have to wear my UCLA California jumper to really represent here, because if you know me, if you've been watching me for a while, you know at heart I really believe I'm from LA, but I'm not. Anyway, let's see what the cards say. So first of all, I'm going to pull just like a clarity and guidance spread on Suge Knight. Then I'm going to go in and ask the questions if they don't come up. So let's just see Suge Knight as a person. What is he about? Oh God. I mean, are we surprised? First card to flip over from Spirit, the Devil. Are we surprised? Not particularly. I think when we say Suge Knight is dark, you know, that I need that to be clear that really is no exaggeration. So Suge Knight, he really is dark. Oh my goodness. He really is dark. He really is cold. He really has no remorse or care for other people. And I feel that just stems from his childhood, because he felt so uncared for. He doesn't know how to love. He doesn't know how to care. He's just cold. His emotions are completely frosty. Suge Knight. Whew, Suge Knight. Suge Knight. Okay. what's going on now? What's going on in his world now? Anything you want to tell us from before? Okay. Oh my God. Okay. You know, Suge Knight really wasn't messing around and still isn't. Like, if you cross him, he really will go as far as, you know, really, not just really hurting you, but really, well, yeah, really hurting you. Yeah, let's put it that way. I think you get what I'm getting at here. So, we have the devil tied to the Page of Cups. Now, the devil, obviously, it talks about being tied to situations and ideals that don't serve you. And when I connect this to Suge Knight had opportunities, I feel, to get out of, you know, the life that he chose, to get out of the street life, but he really didn't want to. Once he was in and he got into like the higher ranks of it and he became, you know, up there with the gang leaders and things like that, he was like, I like this power, because I feel like he was very powerless as a child. Something just about his childhood makes me feel like he was made to feel very worthless. He felt very powerless as a child. I can feel his energy as a young boy, just feeling like, I do feel kind of suicidal with him as a child. I'm not going to lie to you, I do. I feel like there's an energy with him of like, what's the point? And so when he found this kind of lifestyle where, you know, it was drugs, violence, all of that, he felt power. He felt empowered from it. Even though it was dark, he felt wanted, he felt empowered. He was like, yes, this is me. And that is tied to the Page of Cups, which represents him being a part of that lifestyle from a young age. The Page of Cups talks about youth and immaturity. You know, he got into that lifestyle from a young age and he stuck to it. Ten of Swords talks about endings, but endings that always end badly. And it talks about, you know, dark feelings and dark energy and dark emotions. And I feel that Suge Knight, I mean, this is going to be no surprise to say this, but he really suffers with mental health issues. But he's not someone who would ever be like, I'm really struggling, I feel really down. You know, the spirit just keeps saying depression, depression, depression to me. Nine of Wands is about independent resources, so having to carry everything on your own. And again, I feel like from a child he felt so isolated that he had to do everything on his own, and he's carried that weight of that mental health. Now, I'm not victimizing Suge Knight, because let's face it, he is a bully and he is pretty evil, but this is his reading, so we have to say it from his point of view. He has carried mental health issues with him, I believe, from a young age. I'm talking depression. I think maybe even like some kind of personality disorder he has. He has violent bursts of rage and anger, so he has anger issues, just a lot of like suppressed angry emotions within this man that have not been dealt with. And I really do feel like there was some violence or abuse or something towards him from an older man as a child. If he did have a stepdad in the home, I really do feel that his stepdad was quite awful to him. Because there was just someone that came between. I feel like there's a man between the relationship of him and his mother. It might even be his own dad, but it doesn't feel like biologically related. The next two cards, Death and the Knight of Cups, I mean, they really just symbolise the fact that he fully committed to being this bad guy from the get-go. Okay, Knight of Cups is a loving card. When we see that card, especially upright, it talks about going on a journey of love and self-expression, and you know, but the Death card is above that, meaning it has the dominant power over that energy, and he just wasn't about that life. He's so disconnected from his emotions, it's unreal. You know, he was like, no. I feel like he had opportunities to get out. I feel like family members gave him opportunities to like move out of where he lived and to get away from it, but he was like, no, I want to be all about this life. And it shows up again. And when I do a clarity and guidance spread, the cards on the top usually dominate the ones on the bottom, and the ones on the bottom are what we would call maybe the positive cards, the ones on the top are maybe the not so positive cards, and the top ones are the dominating ones. We've got the Devil, Ten of Swords, Death, Two of Swords. You know, he really chose that bad boy life. He wanted it. He had opportunities to get out and he was like, no thanks. Two of Swords above Two of Cups. You know, Two of Cups is the love commitment card, the balance. You know, he had an opportunity. I do feel he had an opportunity to get out, but you know, Two of Swords is about self-victimization. He was like, no, I'm going to stay here and I'm going to make something of this. I'm going to really go after it. And he hurt a lot of people. Oh my goodness. He hurt a lot of people. A lot of people were intimidated by him and being drawn to people's hands. Like, he would do really awful, well, he wouldn't do it himself. He would get people to do really awful things, like torturous things. And these weren't rumors. Like, he would bring his employees, we know this though, he would bring his employees into the room and watch as he got someone else to torture someone who had done him wrong, to be like, okay, you don't mess with me, otherwise this is going to happen to you. And he was very open about the violence. He didn't hide it. And he still is a very, very violent man, but he's very, like, in denial. He's got these mental health issues. It's almost like personality disorder, where he doesn't think he's wrong and he thinks he's untouchable and he's invincible. He thinks he's getting out of jail. I don't think he's going to get out of jail. I actually think Suge Knight will pass away in jail. And, you know, he's not having a good time in there either. I really feel the energy around him now is really dark and depressive and suicidal, and it doesn't feel good at all. So let's see. I want to see, Spirit, did Suge Knight inject Eazy-E? Okay. Well, that would tell me that he did. The Magician is about creating a situation as we want it, and, you know, as we connect it to this situation, I would say that yes, he did inject and kill Eazy-E. And that shouldn't come as a shock to anyone, because, I mean, he's openly kind of admitted that he did it. Again, he didn't stand for anyone crossing him. He'd been so crossed as a child. I mean, literally, boundaries were really crossed. I don't know what happened to him as a kid, but as I connect more with it, it's really dark. So he was just not for people crossing him. You know, as he grew up and he gained power, he was like, no one else is going to cross me. And I don't know what happened between him and Eazy-E. It could have been a similar thing to Tupac, where Eazy-E wanted to leave the label, or it's something to do with records or sales. It's most likely to do with money. And he was like, no. And I do, you know, he didn't personally put the needle into Eazy's arm, but he definitely had a part to play, and he's very boastful about it. He's not a remorseful guy. He's not a remorseful character. He would gladly, he's probably sitting in jail and would gladly tell the stories of what he did. It's almost like that's part of his portfolio and his catalogue, that he hurt all these people and he did all these things because, you know, he's so empty as a person. He's so empty inside. He's so cold inside that's the only time he really feels anything. That's the only time he could really feel emotion, is to be horrible and nasty and vindictive and spiteful and evil. You know, he thrives off that. He really does. He likes that, and I can feel that. So, okay, next question, Spirit. Did Suge Knight play a part in Biggie Smalls' death? Did Suge Knight play a part in Biggie Smalls' death? Did Suge Knight play a part in Biggie Smalls' death? Okay. So we've got the Star, 10 of Pentacles. Yes, again, yes he did. The Star, this is about following your intuition, following your dreams. He really saw Biggie Smalls as a threat, as did he see Bad Boy as a threat. This is a guy with, when I say insecurities, it makes it sound really soft. He has really, like, extreme paranoia. He doesn't like anyone to be better than him. He's extremely competitive, extremely egotistical. Bad Boy to him was a massive threat. You know, he wanted to have the biggest label, not only on the West Coast, but all across America, and then potentially internationally. He was really, you know, what's the word? What do they call it nowadays? He was a sociopath, and he also was a narcissist. You know, he was just very much like, had this like idyllic way he wanted things to be. I feel like he may have even approached Biggie Smalls and asked him to join Death Row, and when Biggie Smalls said no, he took that, you know, you don't say no to Suge Knight in Suge Knight's eyes. So he was like, okay, well, I've got the money. And money was a big thing. Money was at the heart of it. You know, like I said, he felt threatened. And money, like I said, Suge Knight didn't have a lot to him. He didn't have like a lot of love or anything to him. So money was kind of all he had. So you threaten his coin, you threaten his bag, he will threaten your life. And it really was as simple as that. And Biggie Smalls threatened his bag, threatened his reputation, didn't want to join Death Row, was a real big threat to him. Was a real big threat to his artists. And so along comes the Knight of Swords. Well, I will just carry on with my mission and I will get rid of you. And again, he didn't do it. Suge Knight didn't do any of these. I feel like he may have done one or two things himself, but he was always very vindictive and spiteful and clever in the way he carried out his crimes. He always got other people to do it for him. But obviously, in most recent times, he doesn't have other people because he lost his power. I think Snoop Dogg said he was once a CEO, now he's an inmate. So, you know, he didn't have his crew and people weren't so intimidated of him as time went on. So the final question we are going to ask the cards on Suge Knight, because we know he's dark, we know he's evil, is what hand did he play in Tupac's passing? Because I need to know that as a really big Tupac fan. And before you come at me by saying Tupac, I'm English, that's how we say it here, Tupac, you know who I'm talking about. So, okay, what hand did Suge Knight play in Tupac's death? What hand did Suge Knight play in Tupac's death? I will take this point to just say that I don't believe Tupac is dead. So we'll say Tupac's death / escape to Cuba. What hand did Suge Knight play in that? And why? Okay. You have justice. Interesting. What hand did Suge Knight play? Ace of Wands. Yeah, okay. What hand did Suge Knight play? Oh. Would it be, seriously, would it be a Cassie Lewis reading if a card didn't drop on the floor? Right, okay. Okay. Again, yes, he played a hand. However, there's no swords here. There's no, like, endings cards here. Which just does confirm to me that Tupac is still alive and Suge Knight didn't kill him, but that he helped him get away. And when I say helped him get away, I don't really mean helped him. I mean that, I mean gave him an ultimatum of you kind of leave or I get rid of you. Tupac, as we know, at the end of his career, wanted to leave Death Row Records, and Suge was like, okay, but you're gonna have to pay me. You're gonna have to pay me for everything, all the video shootings, the outfits, the jewelry, the cars, the security, everything. Tupac, we love you, but you wasn't very smart when it came to signing contracts. So Suge Knight had him left, right, locked and dropped. And when I look at these cards, this is representational of Tupac. So Tupac was ready. He wanted to set up his own label. Ace of Wands is about having a new ambition, a new dream, a new passion and wanting to run with it. And justice in the middle is Suge saying, well, no, we're not going to do that. So Suge was like, well, here you go. It's this or it's this. And Tupac chose, I feel, the way out, because the outcome of it was 9 of Cups. Well, either way was a way out, if you know what I mean. But he chose to leave peacefully, because 9 of Cups is a card of contentment, which says that whatever this issue was that they had, which they had to weigh out, you know, justice usually talks about legal battles, and although it was a legal battle because it was about contracts and things, it didn't go to court or anything like that, but they did have to sit down. Well, they had to have a conversation, let's put it that way. But the outcome of it wasn't anything tragic. The outcome of it was 9 of Cups. 9 of Cups is a positive card. It's contentment, satisfaction and happiness all round. So I feel like they came to a reasonable agreement that was happy for them both, which does tell me that there was no death, and I still stick by the fact that Tupac escaped to Cuba. So, thank you for being with me and for exploring the energy and questions around Suge Knight. I do hope you enjoyed this reading, lovelies. Has been a long overdue one. I can say I did enjoy it myself. Please do hit a lovely thumbs up if you did enjoy it. Remember to subscribe if you haven't already to join our lovely community. Leave down in the comments what you yourself think of Suge. And I'll see you soon for another reading. Bye, lovelies.